The light in the room was already on. The structure of the room looked exactly the same as the two rooms I'd seen earlier. I didn't feel anyone's presence. The inside was silent. Several articles of women's clothing had been left spread across the bed. They'd probably got wrinkled if they were left like that. It was a very private atmosphere somehow. In other words, the 4 rooms at the corners of this institution are for private use, which means that in this building there are at least 4 private rooms. In each room there was a single bed. The number of people this institute can accommodate is 4, is what it seems. The scale of the building itself is quite large, so it's surprising the number of people it accommodates is so few. Also, this institution doesn't seem to hold the presence of many people either. I haven't met anyone in Sphere besides these 3. The other people involved with Sphere, the doctors and nurses for example, where were they and what were they doing? Perhaps the extra people didn't appear, but it was just a dream. I'm just going around in circles, left the room. Some of this is just repeated dialogue, but since it's not in the same order as we did it, it's not counted as repeated. Itsumi and Uni were in the kitchen drinking tea. Tori wasn't in the living area, she had disappeared through one of the doors, the last remaining door. Or it could be possible that the room belongs to Tori herself. Since I don't have anywhere else to go, I thought I'd take a little peek. Casually, I followed after Tori. Isn't this where she has her episode? Yep. Yep, 90%. Don't take them. I decided not to take them. It's not so bad that I won't be able to make it without relying on the drugs. Being this tired, I should be able to fall asleep right away. Placed the package of the medicine back into my pocket as it was. Oh, it's so cold. It got a little colder. Of course, my body was soaked to the skin. After giving the bathtub a quick rinse, I began to fill it with hot water. I sit on the edge of the bathtub and doze off staring at the surface of the water. Engulfed in the comfortable steam, I am attacked by drowsiness. Suddenly heard sounds coming from the room. Maybe Uni had come visit. Uni, is that you? I called into the other room. No response. Poked my head out of the bathroom and inspected the state of the room. Nobody was there. There wasn't any human presence. Was it just my imagination? I tilted my head and returned my eyes to the bathroom. The water looked warm and full of vitality. Because I've experienced the intense cold of shelter cabin, the hot water felt incredibly precious. I wonder what Yomugi and Maizumi were doing right now. I imagine they're at the shelter cabin, wrapped in blankets, shivering in the cold. It'd be nice if I could take this hot water from my dream into reality. It happened again. Again, I heard a sound. It might be just Uni playing a prank on me. Jeez, I'm already so tired. I left the bathroom. There wasn't anyone in the room after all. Maybe he was hiding. Uni? Stop messing around and come out already. But there was no reply. I didn't feel anyone's presence. How weird. Just to be certain, I looked around anywhere that could be used as a hiding space, including the closet. Still, Uni was nowhere to be found. Leaving the room, I even poked my head into the living room. There wasn't anyone in the living room, nor the kitchen. It seemed like everyone had returned to their rooms. This whole place was as silent as a grave. In the silence, I started to feel insecure. The entire institution didn't have very much of human presence. Oh, the tub is going to overflow. I panicked and turned back to the bathroom. The hot water had already filled about 80% of the tub. I gently put my hand in to test the water. A little hot, but the heat felt nice. The hand continued to splash and stir the water in the bathtub. Oh, wait a second, I'm a man right now. I became aware of a fatal error. There was no way I could get into a bath naked with my body's a man's. It's kind of wrong. I remember that scene from before and immediately recalled how cold it had been. And then suddenly, the light in the room went out. What? It happened so suddenly I was in a state of confusion trying to figure out what happened. It was completely dark and I couldn't see a thing. Because of that, I was late in noticing the presence of someone who entered the bathroom. Who? I turned and faced the direction of the person's presence. Someone in front of me. Okay, there we go. 100%. I'm assuming. Yeah, there was the other one. Who are you? It said. Alice in disorderly clothes. So this is 90% done. Let's fast forward through it. Apologize. Maizumi-san. What? I bowed my head deeply. I'm sorry. It looks like I really made you angry. But please believe me. I'm not lying and I'm not trying to make you a fool either. Maizumi looked at me with suspicion in her eyes. Since Fuyukawa has apologized, why not go ahead and make it up now? Yumigi tried to play peacekeeper, but Maizumi just let out a snort of contempt and started walking away from me. you're gonna apologize, you should have just said those strange things in the first place. Instead of bothering me, you should be making dinner. Hop to it, jeez, what a moron. She pointed at Yomogi as she vented with anger at him with those words. I'm starving over here. Oh, right, we haven't had anything to eat yet. But that's the reason Meizumi's so irritated. Okay. So it's time to see, will we say the same thing, but... or was it only for the rice porridge? Stoop, yep. I think I'm right about the fact that when we choose an option, it's just the final outcome and not what our character actually does. Stew! All three of us in perfect unison. Unanimous decision, huh? Actually, I was just thinking how much I wanted to have stew as well. Just I thought the first meal we eat would be something delicious. As he nodded his head and muttered, Yomogi took out 4 servings of stew from the cardboard boxes. Okay, then everyone get their bowls ready. Quickly took the bowls and spoons out of the cardboard boxes. But it really wasn't kind of incredible. The fact the 4 of us all agreed on what to eat. It was as if the moment I had decided I want to eat some stew, that thought was broadcast to everyone else. No, maybe we can think of it another way. From the very beginning, everyone's decision had already been determined. That's not exactly it either. I'm not the type to believe in fate. I don't believe in that kind of dream. It's just not that kind of romantic. Maybe you can try thinking of it like this. Everyone's decisions were all made by some kind of unseen existence. Yeah, right, I'm such an idiot. There's no such thing. No way something like that would happen. But that does sound just a bit romantic, doesn't it? As I tried to shake off those strange things, put the stew ingredients Yomogi had handed me in my bowl. I asked suddenly as I brought the warm stew to my lips. What happened to the newspaper article? At that time, the bathroom lights had suddenly gone out and someone had come in. But I had no clue who that person was. I distinctly remember feeling a sense of danger. What actually happened then? Okay. I came to my senses. I was engulfed in darkness. Okay. That's... Is this the same one? I listened disorderly close. Yeah, it is. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't smell anything. I couldn't feel anything. What? I couldn't make a sound. Even my voice was gone. I found myself in a darkness so total it was as if an even further blackness had been enfolded into the dark of night. I had no sense of up and down. I didn't know whether I was facing upward, downward, or even if I was awake or asleep. Nothing was touching me. It was as if I was floating in zero gravity. I couldn't feel the clothes I was wearing. Couldn't move my limbs. I didn't even know where my arms and legs were. It wasn't hot, nor was it cold. I couldn't feel air around me at all. I wasn't breathing. I couldn't feel my heart beating. Huh? What is this? What in the world is going on? What has happened to my body? What happened to me? What happened? Is there anyone out there? Anyone? Please, someone answer me. Answer me. Tell me. Answer me. The darkness in front of me suddenly vanished, and my field of vision was enveloped in light. Floating feeling. What an incredible sensation. Even though I shouldn't be able to feel anything, I can sense my body floating. Floating. It feels so pleasant. Such a safe, relaxing sensation. It's the first time I've felt this way. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. Let's just leave everything as it is now. And just then... I caught a glimpse of it for only a moment. No, to be exact, the body that I entered. Satoru's body. Satoru's body was floating face down in the bathtub, his upper half submerged in water. His body wasn't moving at all. Satoru was dead. What? And so am I. See, I understand it all now. Back then, I had felt there was someone behind me in that bathroom wrapped in darkness. Someone must have killed Satoru after that. Killed? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Satoru. This all happened because I wasn't careful. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I have to apologize to you later. I'm coming to apologize to you now. So please forgive me. Without shedding a tear or letting out a single sob, I cried. Cried. For long. My world faded away. What? How does that make sense? I didn't take the pills! What does not taking the pills mean? It means I'm not sleepy! What? That makes no sense at all. That's bullshit. That is complete bullshit! Okay, so I'm just going to assume that because there's red lines through them means they're, it means they're not 100%? I don't actually know. Yeah, I think that's it, because I've been through these. But about that scene, I found that very stupid, because if you don't take sleeping pills, you should be able to fight them back, but then I realized something. And I'm not going to go back to clarify this, because I don't really... I'm just assuming, but... You take the sleeping pills and you survive, but if you don't take them, you don't. And I'm like, but wouldn't you be less sleepy then? And then I realized something. When you don't take the sleeping pills, when Cocoro goes back to her old body, but she doesn't turn around. I think. But when she doesn't take the sleeping pills, she has the energy to turn around because she's not tired. So what I'm thinking happens is Satoru's body turns around, the person who's his attacker gets worried that he's going to notice her, know who she is, and so she stabs him. Meaning he dies. He gets pushed into the bath and dies. But when you take the sleeping pills, you don't turn around, meaning the killer, instead of stabbing him, tries drowning him, giving him time to fight them off. And that's the difference. She's not he, I'm not sure if it's Uni, or Kaiko, or Itsami. I think it's Itsami, honestly. But I could be wrong. But... yeah, that's just how I think it went down. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. It's very logical as well. I find that awesome. But, yeah. Oh! That means I can't go to them. That's interesting. Is it because... why is that? Oh, it's because I've chosen different choices, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Alright, so I have to get through this all over again. I'm gonna jump cut to the choice again, so just so you don't have to go through all this all over again. I'm also gonna... oh wait, don't I have a quick load? I just realized that. Don't I have a quick load for that? It's gone. It's interesting. Alright, guess I'll just, be quick then. By the way, I got 40% now. That's always good. Alright, this time I'm gonna take them, because you actually survive when you do that. Then sound of the blackout. Really, I couldn't see a thing, just 2. Yeah, she doesn't turn around. Okay, 96%. Okay, time for the chuck it on Chinese style rice bowl. Chuck it on! All three of us said in perfect unison. An unanimous decision, huh? Actually, I was just thinking how much I wanted to have some chuck it on as well. Don't understand it myself, but I'm really in the mood for chuck it on. As he nodded his head and muttered, Yomogi took out full service of chuck it on with the cardboard boxes. Okay, then everyone get their bowls ready. We quickly took the bowls and spoons out of the cardboard boxes. But this, it really was kind of incredible. The fact that 4 of us all agreed on what to eat. It's as if something I decided I want to eat some chocodon that thought was broadcasted to everyone else. Now maybe I can think of it as another way. From the very beginning I was such an yeah. Yeah, I'm such an idiot. That just sounded a bit romantic. Okay, that's the end of that. Oh, my shoulder still hurts. It's weird. So yeah, at least we got past that bit. I'm hoping we did at least. Oh, by the way, I asked only as I brought the warm chocodon to my lips. There we go. Man, the second day. There we go, we survived. Holded him. As I thought, that's just too embarrassing. I decided to hold him. But the urge to pee won't let up. It's a constant knocking on my abdomen. A cramp booming knocking, almost a feeling of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Sweat drip from my body like rain. This is bad, this is really bad. What do? I'm gonna quick save. Keep poking at him. I pressed my inner thighs against the bed and buried my face in my pillow trying to forget about it. If only I could think about something else. Okay, let's try thinking about those philosophy lectures I had so much difficulty with. Let's see, according to grounding for the metaphysics of morals, Kant wrote, two things fill the mind with ever-increasing awe. The starry... My train of thought was interrupted almost immediately. I fought against the imminent tidal wave, hating my waves that tossed and turned, rolling across the bed. Ah, this is bad. Yeah. Oh my god. Quick save again. Hold it in. Still, I have to hold it in. I can't do it. I can't take it anymore. Writhing, I'm on my way to the bathroom once again. Someone would have seen me like this. I think I've already been through this part. Alright, quick load. This one. Mentally prepare and go. Okay. And now, let's go to this one. Mentally and preparing. Oh, whoops. No, wrong one. Really? Okay. That's weird. That's very weird. There we go. I can't take it anymore. If someone were to see me like this, I probably wouldn't be able to get married. Was that everything? I don't feel like that was... Yeah, it isn't. It's 92%. That's weird. And this is 95%. This is obviously a new one, so... Okay. Quick save. Draw a snowman. Since it's winter, let's go with a snowman. And if it's going to be a snowman, the most important part is the eyebrows. What everyone says, some else may say, eyebrows. Only big, thick eyebrows like pieces of seaweed can be the proof of a real snowman. Without wasting any more time, I started to draw. Let's draw around. There we go. Oh, you, self. Fuyukawa. What is mutual understanding? I don't know. I'm gonna go back. Because I need to draw the bunny. When you think of snow, you think of rabbits, right? To fool their natural predators, they have the trait that follows them to make traits of fake prints in the ground. When I was a kid, I remember my honest respect for that, thinking, I too want to be intelligent as a rabbit. Rabbits are definitely all about ears, but to hover about the ears is too ordinary, so I'll concentrate on making the face really detailed. Without wasting much time, I started to draw. Let's draw around. There we go. And this is 86%. Just keep quiet. I wanted to keep my complaints known, but decided against it. Survive on this mountain in the dead of winter. Perhaps it's necessary to live greedily like Meizumi. Since we're really hungry, what we should have done is evenly divide up everything at meal times. However, I couldn't do it. Because of the 4 people here, only I've gotten to experience heaven. Toast, bacon, and eggs and tuna salad. The dishes were incomparable to say plain rice gruel. The difference between the warmth of the heated dining area and the cold here was like the difference between heaven and hell. My body itself wasn't full, but my spirit was satisfied enough. On the other hand, the other 3 were on the brink between life and death, having already been shut up in this small, suffocating cabin for around 10 hours' time. I couldn't possibly take food away from them. I couldn't even criticize Meizumi. With that meal savage, in comparison to those fear ended. Cool. Now for the next one. That seriously looks like it's someone dancing. I'm not lying. Cause and reason. Why does the flow of time feel so slow? I have no idea! Yes. Melon flavored. Guess I'll have the melon flavored one. Oh, how class. Oh, how class. Uni placed a hard candy firmly in my hand. Somehow it felt as if it were in a candy store. Thanks. I unwrapped the candy and tossed it into my mouth. Maybe the melon tastes artificially produced using sweeteners, but it was very delicious. And now that I think about it, are you alright with melons flavored stuff, Cocoro? Uni smiled while popping the pineapple candy into his mouth. What do you mean? I thought you might hate it. Why? Well, Cocoro hates cucumbers, right? They say melon flavoring... Oh, so he actually mentions this, which gets to the same kind of talk. They say melon flavoring is derived from cucumber honey, don't they? Cucumbers and melons are completely different. If you ask how different they are, it's like the difference between something that's edible and something that's not. Did you get picked on by a cucumber in your previous life, Cocoro? That might be. We both rolled the candy around in our mouths and smiled. Hey, Cocoro. Wanna get married? No. Is Uni a clone? Uni, asking something like this might be extremely rude, but do you think that elsewhere in the world, another person exists whose genetic composition is perfectly identical to your own? I asked Uni in a roundabout way. Uni exists as 2 people. The simplest solution would be if he were a clone. If he were a clone, that would take off the contradiction of witnessing him both at Sphere and here. However... In other words, my clone. In other words, my clone. Or if I were a clone, maybe the real me is somewhere out there in the real world. In the world. Uni finishes his sentence after a pause and asked me. I'm sorry if I upset you. No, it's not that I'm upset. But I think the possibility that I have a clone and the possibility that I am a clone are probably both null. In the first place, clone themselves only exist in numbers. In the 0-something% range in today's society, right? The probability of being together on a snowy mountain with someone like that after an accident is probably infinitely close to 0, don't you think? That's true, isn't it? I'm sorry. Cocoro, haven't you apologized enough already? I said I really don't mind, okay? Okay, thanks. I'm sorry for asking such a weird question. Jeez, I've been telling you to stop. Even so, asking if I was a clone or not. What were you curious about something like that? You're still strange. An oddly precision smile on his face, Uni said those last few words and climbed the ladder. There was a single reason I thought he was a clone, because I'd witnessed 2 Unis. If he doesn't have a clone, how else is it possible to encounter the same person in 2 places, both the shelter, cabin, and sphere? I don't know. Uni said he wasn't a clone, if that's the case. Yada yada yada. And that's 100%. Cool. And there's the knife, which is probably going to be used later on for something. Because we haven't seen it again? I don't think so, at least. Alarm. Uni's room! I'm gonna check Uni's room. Tsumi nodded without turning and ran towards Satoru's room. Uni, you okay? Came flying into Uni's room. He was crouching in the corner of the room with a blanket pulled over his head. It was like when we first met him in his room, face distorted in terror. Large teardrops flowing from his eyes. I'm scared, Cocoro! You're safe now. He may be remembering the plane crash. The sensation of falling with a sudden jerk was similar to the gravity loss in the airplane. Cocoro, don't leave me! Cocoro, don't leave me! It's alright, I'm here. Hold your hand, okay? I gripped onto Uni's palm firmly with my hand, just like at that time in the plane crash. You on, Cocoro? Crying, Uni clung to me. I was so scared. Don't cry, it's okay now. Still crying, Uni hugged me tight. I rubbed his small back again and again. Is Uni-kun safe? As Tsumi had entered the room, she was gently holding Hattori's shoulder. Hattori's face was blue, but it didn't seem as if she was injured. Somehow, he's alright. A somewhat relieved look had appeared on Tsumi's face, but her expression was still stiff. Thank goodness. But we can't relax yet. Oh yeah, the tsunami. But it's not certain there will be a tsunami. Tsunami? The image of a tsunami in the sea during winter didn't connect immediately. Yes, in the Okashiri earthquake, a lot of damage was caused by a tsunami. Yada, I've already heard this. It's going to be fine, I'll protect you. Properly until the end. Are we going to die? There's no way I'll let that happen, right? We'll definitely be fine. Feeling Uni's hand shaking, I clasped it tightly once again. Isn't there any way to protect ourselves from a tsunami, like climbing up to higher ground? How about the clock tower, if we're up there? Tsumi shook her head from side to side. I don't know how to get up to the clock tower. What? You don't know? What? You don't know? Yes, Yukidoh-kun might, but however, Satoru's personality isn't here right now. Then we can only pray that there won't be a tsunami. It seems so. Okay, there we are. Discord of group consciousness. It may have been normal, but might have normally been tasteless, but due perhaps to my hunger, they tasted delicious to me. Okay. Chamomile tea followed. Suddenly reminded me of fruit tickle my nose. It's delicious. Do you know other people who set up the Yeah. Stop Yomogi. Please wait, Yomogi-san. If you're going down into a snowstorm like this, don't try to stop him. He finally said he's going to call for help. Don't blow out a chance to be saved, okay? Maizumi puffed out a chest as if it were an achievement. Yeah, it's just as Maizumi said. Yeah, the 2 weeks and stuff like that. This guy's such a smart ass, I love it. It would not have been like you. It wouldn't have been like you not to save her, Yomogi-san. When I tell him my true feelings, Yomogi's shoulders droop. Stop that, if you say something like that, I won't be able to abandon you if the situation calls for it. The situation calls for it. You're planning on abandoning me? If I thought we lost all hope of being saved, in other words, as long as there's a chance it will be saved, you'll come and save me, right? You could say that, but by the way, the way you put it is a little embarrassing. Yomogi scratched the tip of his nose. He was still wearing all the equipment. Yada yada yada. That's 100% now. Yep. Yeah, that's when he was going to mention someone was after his life. Head towards the main entrance. The front entrance. Might be able to get away from there. But I hesitated. To get to the front entrance to pass through the living area, and I had to go through the kitchen as well. It was possible that someone who had been trying to kill me was waiting along the way. If I got attacked midway, just thinking about that made my body tremble. I felt like I was about to collapse to my knees. What do? Do I go or do I stay? I'm going. If I don't go, I will be killed. I held my trembling body and summoned my courage. If I was going, then I would just have to make a run for it now. I couldn't afford to take my time. In the dim light, I ran holding my body as low as I could. I ran along the wall through the living area, so I thought. All of a sudden, I felt as if the ground had disappeared from under my feet. Ah! There's no floor? No, it's a step. There was a difference in the floor level between the living area and the kitchen. At the moment I realized that I fell down a step. Ouch! My entire body was racked with pain, bringing tears to my eyes. I can't take this, somebody save me! I endured the pain and stood up confused. Surveying my surroundings with care, this time I made it to the front entrance, in spite of the injured foot, which I was dragging behind me. The sturdy-looking automatic door was firmly shut. Even if I stood in front of it, it didn't respond to the slightest. The power was still out. If the electricity had been cut off, then the automatic door won't open. I'm begging you, open up! I pounded on the door, however, even if I did that, there was no way the door was going to open. What should I do? There was nowhere to run. Straightening my posture and drawing close to the door, I furtively looked back towards the living area, blanketed in a dim light. Neither the kitchen nor the living area held any sign of a human presence. I held my breath for a while. Nothing moved. I'm safe? Or else, are they lying in wait? Keeping a sharp lookout, I slipped into Satoru's room. Closing the door, I look up behind me. Even if it's true that Uni's only a child and he's really a kid, so there's no way he'd attack me. As for Anibushi and Natsumi, I can't really rule them out as a possible suspect. Still 90%. Look for a footstool. I searched for something that looked like it could be used for a footstool. I just so happened to find a wooden box of appropriate height, so I used it in place of a footstool. I peered into the switchboard. There was nothing particularly suspicious there. The switches were covered in dust, but there was only one with an imprint left by Uni's thin finger. There were no signs that it had been touched by either people. Was the breaker tricked by the earthquake after all? While tilting my head, I jumped down from the wooden box. At the moment I landed, I lost my balance. Huh? I made a decidedly unsightly landing, falling on my bottom. Tears of pain sprang to my eyes. Ow! Jeez, you're clumsy. Are you really 20, Cocoro? Are you sure you're not really a child? Responding to Uni's line with a wry smile, I feel a sensation similar to deja vu. I had heard a similar line in the basement of the shelter cabin. Hey, Uni? What? I challenged him with the same... Wait, hey, Uni? What? I challenged him with the same question. You're not a clone, right? I wonder what the Uni here will say. No, I told you I'm not a clone. You just asked me that right before, right? My heart jumped. Unintentionally began staring hardly at Uni's face. Before? Before as in when? Before as in before. When I asked him what he meant, he only replied with before. It seems that he was all he was going to reply with, no matter how many times I asked. Left with no choice to change the question. There we go. Huh, that scene. Get angry. Gripping the newspaper in my hand, I slammed it against his head. That scene is hilarious. One hour and 4 minutes into this if I look at my recording. I'm nearly there. Oop.